Space Marine 2 came out swinging, selling over 2 million copies on release, having a Steam concurrent player count of over 100,000 players even before its official launch date, and some people are already claiming it as their game of the year for 2024. Almost everything about this game screams that it is amazing. Yet there are still those out there claiming it's a 6 out of 10 mid experience. So it begs the question, is Space Marine 2 actually good? Yes, the answer is yes, this game is amazing. Anyone who says it isn't is a goddamn heretic and deserves to be purged by the mighty forces of Ultramar in the name of the God Emperor himself. Now, I'm a huge 40k fan, so it's fair to say I went into this with a bit of bias. And to be honest, this marriage of OG Gears of War and God of War 4 gameplay is more or less exactly what I wanted out of Space Marine 2. Maybe you're looking for something else in your experience, but even acknowledging all that bias, this game is pretty objectively one of the best games to come out in 2024 so far. Now, of course, it's not without its faults, and I'll jump into some of those a bit later, but overall, it's a damn good game. Space Marine 2 starts you out in its story-based campaign where you play as Titus, the main character of the first Space Marine game. Only this time, you start out as a member of the Death Watch, where you have spent the last 100 years as punishment for being accused of corruption. Now, it's a relatively short campaign, running about 8 to 10 hours, and without getting into too many spoilers, your first mission is to launch a virus into the stratosphere in an attempt to slow down the Tyranid invasion. And while you accomplish this goal, you're put into a life-threatening condition to do so. You end up getting rescued and become a Primaris Marine, essentially an upgraded Space Marine for those that don't really know the 40k lore. And then the rest of the campaign is basically just killing bugs until, oh shit, Chaos is here. Guess we gotta kill bugs and heretics now. That's kind of it. I've seen a complaint of the game that the campaign is relatively short and there's not enough content in it. And for sure, I can agree with that. I would have loved to see more than like 5 core enemy types, and I do wish there was some more boss enemies in there. But isn't that such a good sell for a game that the primary complaint most people have is that they just want more of it? Maybe the story itself isn't the next New York Times bestseller, and some of the characterization can seem a bit flat, like, who is this guy? Where'd he come from? Why am I even trying to kill him in the first place? But honestly, I don't give a flying fuck about any of that. The atmosphere of the game is so good. I don't need any plot to give me some philosophical reason for why my character needs to take down the big bad. The game makes you feel like a goddamn Space Marine, pledged to the Emperor, whose duty is to decimate any and all heretics and Xenos scum that stand in your goddamn way. Slashing through hordes of gaunts with a chainsword while parrying elite enemies just feels so good. I've heard a lot of people say this already, and it's extremely true. This game feels like one of those peak Xbox 360 games like Halo 3, where you just feel like an absolute badass and it's pure, unadulterated fun. And ultimately, if the campaign isn't the greatest part of the game, I don't think it matters that much, because in my opinion, the campaign is just a way to teach you all of the mechanics of the game before you really jump into the meat of it. Like, for example, the PvP. The PvP is amazing. It's a 6v6 match with currently 3 different game modes in Team Deathmatch, Domination, and King of the Hill style. They all have different names, but that's basically what they are. You get to choose one of 6 different classes with a max of 2 players per class on any given team. Each class feels really unique and well balanced against each other. The time to kill feels weighty but not too long, and fighting other players just feels really good. I'm constantly thinking, oh, should I stay back and shoot, or try to sneak up behind for a melee kill? There are so many options for combat, and each one feels viable. My personal favorite class is the Vanguard. Grappling someone from across the map and mowing them down with a chainsword just feels so goddamn satisfying. My only real complaint there is you can't really customize the Chaos Space Marines, and I really want to go hard on World Eater dress up. But honestly, that's another thing that's pretty cool about the game in my opinion. There's a ton of customization options. At least for the standard Marines, my opinion still stands for the Chaos side of things. But there's all sorts of colors, different armors for different classes, and it's pretty detailed. Your left arm can be different from your right arm, and each piece of armor can be a custom color. The best part though is that all of these cosmetic options are pretty easy to unlock. The other big multiplayer component are operations, where you load up in a 3-man squad with friends or with AI and set out on a mission, like killing a hive tyrant. Each of these missions, while having a specific end goal, have a roguelike-esque playthrough where each time you boot one up, the enemy waves you face will be somewhat random, leaning into a bit more of variety for all of these repeated playthroughs you might be going through. Again, you can select one of 6 classes, and playing these operations grants you experience to level up skills for each class and help you run on higher difficulties. I haven't put too much time into the operations themselves. They're fun, but honestly, I don't think they're anything too special. The progression system is fine, but doesn't get me too excited. If PvE is your thing, this is a good solid experience, but for me, PvP is where it's at. So at the end of the day, yeah, this game has some flaws and honestly seems a bit undercooked. It probably could have used a few more months of development, but it looks good, it feels good, and it plays good, and is 100% worth every penny I spent on it. We need more games like this. So yeah, that's about it. Go pick up Space Marine 2 and kill some heretics. Thanks for watching. I might do more of these shorter, more rambly type reviews in the future. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comments if you liked it. All right, peace.